I think if the Raptors do not make a trade for Trae Young, they are retarded. I'm gonna keep it on it.
Are working.
Niggas talking about the Wizards. Why the fuck? The Wizards is the dumbest organization in the world, but I think that because of his loyalty and because they drafted him, they're gonna have respect for him. I don't think Trae Young wants to go to the fucking Wizards. They're ass, right? So it doesn't even make sense for that to happen. I know people are saying the trade assets and whatever the fuck. Like CJ McCollum, like that's nothing. I think
On a deal
I think you're better off like doing a trade with the Raptors.
out of Atlanta.
Feel like lucid be my dreams. Said you steady love me, so I'm sure you know the means. It's like I'm living all inside a movie in a dream. Sequels to my life entirely up to me. Slowly suffocating, do you know just how it feels? Baby, can you hold me while I'm running through a field like
News just broke, man. Breaking news. Trae Young is no longer an Atlanta Hawk. He has now been moved to the Washington Wizards, and in a very shocking turn of events, as he's being pivoted to the Wizards. What the Hawks got in return for Trae is not that much. Like, not that much at all. This is in real time, happening live.
Horrible trade, bro.
I don't know where exactly we do to take away from this. Actually, before I continue, shout out to everybody out there. We are live on Twitch reacting to the Trae Young trade that just went down. Come over and join us before we start watching the Laker game. But as you all know, face of the franchise.
We have a 1v1 wager after this. So
really the last 7 years, an organization that put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears around the idea of building around the 27-year-old and what he was able to provide to the team for a very, very long time. And it is unfortunate that it came to a conclusion, and it's unfortunate that the conclusion came this way. But the outcome of it all, again, that's just not enough. I mean, we're talking about a All-NBA caliber player, a four-time All-Star, someone for his career who's averaging 25 points, 10 assists, 3.5 rebounds. And even though the shooting splits haven't looked the greatest recently and the defense is certainly terrible, I would have assumed that Trae Young and what he is as a player, this is what we're going to receive. And as OTC is saying in the chat, I called it. You're absolutely right. I did call it. I was surprised.
Bro, these niggas didn't even get back a pick for this nigga. Like, I need y'all niggas to understand that I understand the thought process. They're trying to salary dump this nigga so they can go out and they're trying to get Anthony Davis. First of all, if you are putting your fucking faith in Anthony Davis to be the piece that puts you over the top, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry, my nigga. I'm sorry. Bro, Anthony Davis, like I already told y'all with the Lakers, I think they only won because the season shut down for 5 months and they had a chance to break. Again, that's not to discredit them, but because of Anthony Davis, I feel like if Anthony Davis played a full regular season with no 5 month stoppage, he would have got injured. Every other season he got injured that they played on the Lakers, except for the 2023 when they got swept by the Nuggets. Anthony Davis is not someone you put your faith around, you know, because the nigga be getting injured. It is what it is. I fuck with Anthony Davis heavy too, but he be getting injured bare. So if I'm doing a salary dump of the nigga who was my franchise piece for what? Since 2018, over half a decade, my nigga, I'm getting more than fucking a salary dump. You couldn't get picks. Niggas gonna say, oh, well, Trae Young value, da-da-da-da. And you're on a 1 year deal. If they're trading him to a team, he obviously talked to that team. Agent talked to that team. He has some interest in re-signing. It's like the same shit that happened with Jimmy Butler when he went to the Warriors. Niggas like, oh, you're on a 1 year deal. He gonna leave. No. Before the trade happened, his team talked to the other his team, as in his agency. They talked to the team he going to, and they start talking about like an extension and shit. For them to give this up, this makes 100% sense for the fucking Wizards to do. For the Hawks, you don't do this unless you're certain you're going to get Anthony Davis, and then even then, you're putting your faith in Anthony Davis. You know what I mean?
I heard some rumblings about the idea that Trae,
you couldn't get back picks,
done, or at least they were going to get this deal done in the pursuit of building something of substance. The hang-up was draft capital, but the Hawks didn't even get draft capital out of this. They just got CJ McCollum. Trae, you are lucky. You are so lucky that Pat Bev is off the internet right now, because the yapping that he would have done, the way in which all of this translated this year, boy, it would have been a yap fest for the ages.
Who cares, bro? I'm sorry. I hate this shit when, like, I don't even, shout out to Pat Bev, but I hate it when niggas who are not at your level speak on you. I'm sorry, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like, Pat Bev talking to Trae, bro, I'm keeping on it. I fuck with Pat Bev. Pat Bev is not fucking with Trae Young at all. Why does what he say matters? It's like same shit with Kendrick Perkins and any of them. Bro, those niggas were glorified at their peak. Role players, my nigga. Like, bro, why does it matter?
It would have been,
Who cares?
Pat would have been running laps like he was in track and field.
It's like a fucking like who's a lit nigga. It's like a fucking like Drake or like Pac or like Kendrick gave a fuck what like fucking I don't know Laser Dim said. Like who cares, man? It's not even.
That man would have been going crazy right now. He would have been going crazy. Trae just was not yielding that much in return is because whatever team was going to get him, they knew that they had to sign him to a long-term deal. And as great as Trae Young is at this point in his career, the miraculous numbers he's posted up, how great he has looked, the reality is that whatever team was going to have him, they knew that defensively he was going to be a massive negative.
The major thing, yes, defense, whatever the fuck. The main thing is the CBA. If you're getting Trae Young, you're probably gonna have to send him to a big ass deal, and the whole salary cap shit. They fucked up the salary cap. This is why the league. This salary cap shit made the league significantly worse.
They knew that from an offensive standpoint, he has to play a certain style of basketball.
There's reasons why teams like the fucking Warriors didn't go out and do that trade for Zach LaVine and other niggas because they knew it would take them over the second apron, and it fucked up. We would see so much more nice teams and teams that would be able to compete, but you can't. The only way you're gonna have a nice team right now is if you have a MVP caliber player with an all-star caliber player, and then you have them around some niggas they drafted. Like, say you're in a situation like the Warriors. The Warriors couldn't go out and trade for Zach LaVine and then trade for Jimmy. Like, that's what they could have done when they did the Jimmy trade. But they couldn't because it would put them over the second apron. It's a stupid
he was
rule.
as an individual, which then translated into
reason why the Nuggets fell off for so many years because they couldn't go over the second apron and re-sign their championship players like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope or like Bruce Brown. They're championship role players.
So unfortunately,
so it just led to them falling off for a bit.
Teams,
and then this season they had to move Michael Porter Jr., get Cameron Johnson, and then they brought in some role players. The CBA shit is ass, bro.
That Trae would be demanding for in the upcoming offseason. However, if you're Washington, you don't really care that much about how much money you have to spend because at this point, what you are looking for is talent on the roster to stabilize what's happening in terms of young talent and progress and a lot of prospects that are on this team and helping them mature to the players that they will inevitably be in the next 3 to 4 years, and to expedite that process and making sure that process gets executed correctly. This is what you want to do. You want to bring in somebody of the caliber of the Trae Young that will help you out in that process. How many games will this translate for the Washington Wizards, who are actually looking really good recently? Who knows? But this is certainly a long-term deal, long-term plan if you are the Wizards, who I believe personally came out great. They look amazing in the transaction. CJ McCollum.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna translate to shit as of right now. Give it a year or two. SAR develops. I don't think SAR's gonna be I don't know if SAR's gonna be that nice. I think that fucking Trae Johnson might be a demon though.
One expiring, not a part of the big picture. You added Trae Johnson. Alex Sar's having a really great year. George is also having a really good year as well. And to see the team is starting to turn it around slowly and adding this caliber of player on your team to really help you out long term. I think it's a win. I think it's a massive win. But if you are Atlanta
and the Raptors need to fucking do something, my nigga, because these niggas, they need a guard. Niggas talking about they're getting Anthony Davis. Why are niggas still trying to get Anthony Davis? I don't understand. I don't give a fuck if when healthy he's a top 10 player. He's not. He's never healthy, my nigga. Bro, it's frustrating, bro. It's frustrating.
If this is the only thing you're going to receive in return,
and shout out to Anthony Davis, bro.
I would have just waited into the offseason and did a sign and trade. I personally would have done that.
Yeah,
that's what I would have personally done. And also, before we watch the game, before we continue, it needs to be said as well that if you are Atlanta, this is what I'm gathering. The trade deadline is not over for you just yet. The concept of getting Zachary Ricochet off the team, pairing him with the massive expiring that is Kristaps Porzingis.
They already gave up on that nigga. That's crazy.
Maybe throwing in another player in there as well to go get an Anthony Davis deal done is still on the table. I don't want people to rule it out. There were already conversations about this early on in the season about how AD to Atlanta could be at play as long as they can figure out a way to pivot off of Trae Young. They know out in Atlanta they're going to have to start spending the big bucks if they want to go out there and contend. The only rhyme or reason where it was ever going to make sense is if they make the roster complete from a defensive standpoint. I see a lot of people on the timeline who are upset at the idea of adding Anthony Davis on the roster. Me personally, the question is very simple. Will Zachary Ricochet ever reach the heights of where Anthony Davis is right now? Many people may not be high on AD, but at the end of the day, right now, when he's healthy and ready to go, he is still a top 20 player in the association. Ricochet.
That's what niggas be saying. This is before the injury. All right. Stupid.
Mavericks fans out there, I pray to the basketball guys that y'all catch a break sometime soon, because I know for a fact you all didn't want this. But the new news about Anthony Davis, what happened to him, makes that Luka trade like somehow 10 times worse. I don't know how you can make arguably the worst trade of all time even worse. I don't know how that's possible, but like that's what's happening right now. A couple of days ago, AD sustained an injury, and as an AD fan, as a Laker fan, I try my hardest fighting for AD, and I see the jokes, and I cringe. I'm like, no, man, no, AD, he really like that. No, when he healthy, he really like that. But damn, bro, this nigga really made out of glass, dog. Like I don't get it. So for those who may have missed it, this is the injury that happened to AD. This is tough, man. This is hard to watch, man. Front
court off the wing. Now look for Markkanen. He'll drive against AD. Baseline, put it up. AD is holding what looks to be a wrist or a hand. And there was no call on the baseline as Markkanen drove strong. It looks like the left hand. And
oh, boy.
30-point category. Front court off the wing. Now
that's tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. One thing I will say, though, as a Laker fan, the one thing I don't miss with AD, bro, every single time this nigga fall on the floor, I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah, you panicking, bro.
Oh, is he okay? Okay, get up, AD. Get up, AD. Come on, get up. You thought this nigga was in a boxing match. And how often we were yelling at the screen, get up, AD. Come on, get up, AD. Crossing your fingers, hoping that this nigga wouldn't get injured, because it would happen way too often. The other thing that really be blowing me sometime about AD, bro, this nigga will get the most, like, fragile injuries I've ever seen in my life. This nigga has to walk around with bubble wrap around everything on his fucking body. Nigga, Lauri Markkanen just bumped this nigga.
look for Markkanen. He'll drive again.
He just bumped him. This nigga got like, this nigga's the most fragile, thin bones, low calcium ass nigga I think I might have ever seen in my life, bro. That shit is crazy. And it happens all the time. So.
But I wonder how, like, injuries, like, do you think it's like the nigga, like, his body, he not working out enough to strengthen his muscles or his bones and shit? Like, what do you think of, because, bro, I don't know, bro, like, he do be getting injured a lot, and, like, I don't understand the, like, thought process where, like, the Hawks, they traded, they pretty much did I don't know what's crazy.
I don't know what's crazy. Twitter after Charlie Kirk got shot then died, or Twitter after the Luka trade.
Oh my god. Yo, I remember we were live during that Luka trade. But, like, yo, I don't know why niggas is still putting their faith in AD. Like, the Hawks, they did the Trae Young salary dump as a way to go and get AD. They thought he was going to be the piece that moves the needle. He can't stay healthy. My nigga, AD, you know AD has played, 70 games twice in his, like, 14, 15-year career? So you think you're about to get this nigga when he's 30 plus now and he's going to stay healthy? Like, what are we
After that happened, there was some news that's being broke. Everybody's crossing their fingers, but then AD showed up to the next shoot around already in the sling, man. This is tough. My brother already slinged up. My twin already slinged up. Oh, my days. So then Sean broke the news. Dallas Mavericks star Anthony Davis has sustained ligament damage in his left hand. Sources say, depending on a second opinion and if surgery is required, Davis could miss numerous months. That's fucking crazy right there, man. Fuck, man. Mind you, bro, we're basically halfway through the season. Missing numerous months could mean you would be out for the remainder of the year. Now, why exactly does all this change a lot of things? Because over, like, I promise you, look at this. I want y'all to look at these dates. This is January 9th, January 10th, January 9th right there. Everything I'm about to tell you happens, like, literally days before all this happens. First, the AD part of it. The reason why this is crazy for AD is because leading up to this moment, there were several rumors claiming that AD was going to get traded. And it's not just that he wanted to be traded, but it seems as if, like, the Mavericks had also accepted the fate as well. Anthony Davis' camp is pushing for a trade before the deadline. Anthony Davis' camp is pushing for a trade before the deadline. AD's agent, which we all know is Rich Paul. They be saying this shit as if, like, we don't know it's Rich Paul. But AD's agent is reading the situation and saying, hey, it's in my client's best interest to get a trade before the deadline. So I do believe there's going to be a push coming from that side. Furthermore, AD's goal is to receive a max extension. However,
yo, I know it's overstated, but I need you to actually really think about the fact that, like, a year ago, 2024, no, but, like, from when they got 80, for a year before they got 80, they were in the fucking finals. They were 3 games away from a championship, my nigga. I don't think you guys, like, are really comprehending. To, like, they're a lottery team rebuilding off of one trade. I ain't gonna lie, I think, bro, this might be crazy to say, but I think Nico Harrison might be worse than Adolf. I'm not even joking, bro. That was some real undercover, like, I don't believe there's no manager in the fucking NBA. I know a lot of people I can't even hate on Nico, bro, because a lot of people be hating on him. That was a up top call. There's no GM. No sane nigga, no mentally stable nigga would do that. Not one. It had to be something.
The Mavericks extension unlikely for Anthony Davis. Again, because
it wasn't even like it was a robbery. It was like, yo, there's a difference between you a nigga trade and a nigga want to trade, like when the Hawks traded Luka for Trae Young, or you have a different trade that you look back on, you're like, yo, this is like some fucking highway. It's not even like remember when the Lakers traded for Paul Gasol shit? It's not even that type of trade. This is straight robbery.
Nico Harris,
you want to look at
than the devil himself, and his excuse was, I didn't know he was important to the team.
Bro, that was I feel like that was some higher up shit. Like that was like the new owners coming in and doing
fucking
some
days.
shit.
This is the 7th. This nigga did this on the 9th.
There's no
so
way
we're not even
did
like
that.
this right here was the 8th. This is the 8th. The whole thing about getting max extension the 8th. This came out on the same day. In the morning, we were talking about pushing for a trade. Now all of a sudden, nigga gets hurt. So out the gate, why this is big for AD is because he was looking to get a max extension. And the Mavericks were saying, I don't know if we're going to give you a max extension. For those who are unaware, the reason why the Mavericks had shift gears is because they fired the numbskull that is Nico Harrison. So Nico had bought into the idea of giving AD an
reason the why Curry didn't sign with Nike because he fucked up the presentation.
I heard about that. But that's what I'm saying. He also like there's like niggas will highlight the bad he did, but like bro, he's the one who built that team around Luka. He's the one who traded for Kyrie. He's the one who drafted Derek Lively. Like he did a lot of shit. He's the one who traded for Daniel Gafford, traded for PJ Washington. He built that championship team. For him to do that, it doesn't make sense to me. It just will never register in my head. It makes sense.
Extension and being part of the big picture of this championship window that they had, but unfortunately, the new regime clearly isn't. So they were looking to pivot in a different direction, in large part because AD was looking for a max contract extension, and they were unwilling to give him one. If that's in the air, and now you just injured yourself, AD has done nothing more. And I'm not saying like it's his fault, but AD has done nothing more but further perpetuate the reason to why no one would ever want to touch that nigga with a 10-foot pole with a max contract. No one's going to do that.
Yeah,
you get injured every single day, dog. Like it happens over and over and over again. I'll be fighting for my life trying to.
I saw the Raptors talking about they're trying to trade for AD. Please don't do that dumbass shit, bro. Trade for like LaMelo. I know niggas are like, yo, LaMelo, da da da. But we know the Raptors have a great medical staff. Like every nigga who goes there, Kawhi was a nigga who was getting injured bare in San Antonio. He went to Raptors, he was healthy. Brandon Ingram was getting injured bare in New Orleans. He went to the Raptors, he's healthy. A lot of niggas, they go to the Raptors, bro, it's free healthcare, nigga. So a lot of the doctors out here, they're sick with it. You know? They're very experienced. They have to deal with patients constantly. It's free healthcare. Niggas are coming in every day. They don't have to pay. I think if LaMelo went to Toronto and he has a good structure, like Charlotte, they had a bunch of bullshit going on. There's no structure, no veteran leadership. Niggas is sipping lean. Niggas is getting into it with their girl. All type of shit was going on in Charlotte. Niggas is fucking porn stars getting IG thoughts pregnant and shit. All type of crazy shit was happening in Charlotte. He had no structure. He came into a team organization with no structure and no veteran leadership. And like Michael Jordan was running the team. He drafted all type of niggas. MJ was a horrible owner as well. He didn't even know what was going on for real. He was fucking up bare. I think the best option is for the Raptors to trade for LaMelo. They need a guard, a nigga who can facilitate, and a nigga who can put up buckets. That's it. Getting AD is the most pointless trade a team could do.
Defend this man, but bro, a nigga bumped you and now you about to be out for months, bro. You trying to get
He's out for
you
the
trying to squeeze
season,
out
nigga.
one more max deal because you know for a fact it's finito after that shit. It's finito after this max
He gonna get surgery. He's out for the season. I'm telling
contract. And you done already pushed that shit back. The team that you on right now don't even want to give you that contract. You're fucked, dog. You're fucked. So now that that's out of the way, the second part of it was what exactly was going to happen. Again, I want you all to look at these dates. The 7th. This is getting broken on the 7th. Teams around the NBA are saying that the Mavericks are shopping AD like crazy. And come to find out, every team in the East believes that they're AD trade away from making the finals. And
Why?
after that, you had multiple reports, a couple of teams like the Hawks and the Raptors. Both teams show legitimate interest in AD. In particular, before we get there, the Bucks as well show some interest, though it did seem a little bit unlikely, but it was certainly worth noting. But
the Bucks make sense. They're in straight desperation mode. Like they need to do something. So I can't fault the Bucks for that. But if you're the Hawks, if you're the Raptors, this doesn't make sense at all.
Team that was without a doubt showing interest, and I said this in multiple videos, and people thought that I was just like gaslighting or just throwing stuff around. I knew about AD potentially going to the Hawks because I live in Atlanta and I know a couple of people who work there, right? And so I knew that was going to be the case. That's the reason why I was pushing it. And then right after I got done pushing it, Shams also reported on it as well. After trading away Trae Young, the Hawks have reportedly shifted their focus on acquiring Anthony Davis from the Mavs. There were already trades that were put out there as well that the Hawks now plan to pursue AD in a package built around expiring contracts, KP, and Luke Kennard. All this stuff was set in stone. Now, I want y'all to see this shit. January 8th, my nigga.
Sending KP back to the Mavericks.
This shit has all changed within a matter of 3 fucking days. So, for those who do not know, from what I know, Trae was getting traded to the Wizards. the Wizards was going to send over an expiring contract and a rotational player, because the Hawks also knew that all they had to send was an expiring contract and rotational player, and then they were going to have to make a decision if they were going to part ways with a draft pick or Zachary Ricochet. And that, from what I know, that was going to be the trade to get done for AD. Now that AD has injured himself, it's done. Well, he injured himself, but y'all know what I'm saying. Now that AD is injured, that shit is done. That ship has sailed, or at least from what I may be aware of right now, that ship has sailed.
That's what I'm saying. What the Hawks did was stupid as fuck, because the reason they traded Trae Young like that, niggas like, oh, Trae Young's ass. No, nigga, they traded him like that because their mind, they're like, okay, we're gonna pull out this finesse. We're gonna move him, do a salary dump for our franchise player for over half a decade. We're gonna do a salary dump for him and then get 80. Then we're gonna be like contenders. No, nigga, y'all are fucking stupid. It's like, remember when the Clippers did that? But the Clippers, it actually worked. They were like, okay, we're gonna move Shea and all these picks to acquire Paul George, and then that's gonna make entice Kawhi to sign here, and we're gonna sign Kawhi. They actually did it, and it worked. But you don't do that with your franchise. Like, at that time, the Clippers had nothing to lose. They were ass. No one knew Shea was gonna be a star at the time. Kawhi just went on a historic run. He's viewed as the best player in the NBA at that point. Then you get Paul George, who's a stud as well. It makes 100% sense for you. You don't have nothing to lose. It makes sense for them to do that. The Hawks, you don't trade your franchise player to go get a nigga who's one of the most injury-prone players in the league, has only played 70 games plus twice in his like 15-season career or 14-season career or whatever. And he's in his 30s. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
Not only because if you are the Hawks, you may not receive AD or have AD playing for your team for the remainder of the year. But also, if you are the Mavericks, you are now potentially going to sell on AD on his absolute lowest.
Yeah.
So before we even get to the Maverick side of things, if you are all these other teams that were potentially looking for AD, the Toronto Raptors, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Atlanta Hawks. Matter of fact, the Warriors were out there looking for AD as well. Golden State hasn't shut the door on a potential trade for Anthony Davis. However, the Warriors are resistant to the idea of trading either Draymond Green or Jimmy Butler, making the pathway to a deal work financially difficult. So that was also in play. So all these teams are now, they're not interested anymore. So that kind of fucked up everybody else in the league who really thought if we get AD on our team, we could really make a deep push for a postseason run. But more importantly, if you are the Hawks, you're really screwed, because part of the trade wasn't just to get him off the books, but it was also to put you in a financial situation to where you can then pivot to go get AD. Trading Trae to the Wizards was only to help you go get Anthony Davis from the Mavs, but you had to pull it off just so you couldn't look on the papers that you just traded away Trae Young for.
Why would you do that? See what I'm saying? Why would you put all your eggs in that basket? Like,
a bag of bubble gum and some used Skittles. But that's basically what you're about to be looking at right now, because if you don't get AD, and even who knows, even if you still want him, but if AD is now off the board for you to trade him, then you're kind of fucked right now, dog. It without a doubt means that Trae Young, the face of the franchise, the player that you already had in your mind that you were going to pivot off on, but the full plan was to pivot off of him to then pick up someone else, that someone else being AD. Now that shit is fucked. It's completely screwed. It's done. You just lost Trae Young for nothing, my nigga. Damn. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there, because then we have to go back to the other part of it, and that's the Mavericks. To my Mavs fans, I hate this. I hate this because not too long before all that happened, I think like a day before that. No, the same fucking day, man. Fuck. News broke that Kyrie Irving will not return before the deadline and might not play at all this season. Again, this happened.
Bro, I was telling niggas this. Kyrie's not coming back next season when it happened. I don't know what you niggas think this is. This is an ACL tear. I don't give a fuck what advancements you think is made in medicine. This is what niggas don't understand. Any nigga who's had a serious injury, for example, any injury you get, like I got concussions, I dislocated my shoulder, right? I've had shit like that happen to me when I was playing sports. The time it takes you to heal doesn't mean that you are ready to play. Bro, Kyrie can probably dribble. He's probably in the gym putting up jumpers right now. But his body is still not going to be able to come back and play and stay healthy. He's going to come back and get injured, nigga. That's what happened to D Rose. Remember Clay tore his ACL? Then he's trying to hoop and do all this shit. Then he tore his Achilles. DeMarcus Cousins tore his Achilles and then tried to come back and then tore his ACL. You have to take at least 1.5 to 2 years off. Because the whole time your ACL's torn, you can't walk on it. Niggas have their shit in a cast, or if your Achilles is torn, they have their shit up. They're using the thing to wheel themselves, right? You're putting all this pressure on your other leg. The second they come back and they're trying to run and shit, all this tension and stress that's been on your other leg that you've been using for the last year, because you can't use your other one, immediately tears. That's what happened to Clay. That's what happened to DeMarcus. That's what happened to like D Rose. Every nigga, you have to take like 2 years, a year and a half at least. The only niggas who I saw do it and did it right was Jamal Murray and Zach LaVine. Bro, Jamal Murray tore his ACL in what, 2021? No, I think he might have tore his shit like end of 2020. Was it end of 2020? The new season going into 2020, I think. Like after the bubble. I think he tore his shit and then he didn't come back to like start of 2022. Bro, like, I don't know why niggas thought Kyrie's gonna come. Kyrie's fucking like 34, my nigga.
On the 8th. And then right after that,
bro, niggas
the Mavericks are expected to keep
bro.
Anthony Davis following his hand injury. That happened on the 10th. Bro, the amount of things that just changed in a 72-hour window is crazy. That's nuts. How much things change in the NBA within 3 to 4 days is fucking insanity. You're telling me if you're Dallas, you were sitting there.
That's why when my doctor said even when my toe heals that I still gotta be careful and I had to wear a boot for 1 or 2 months. I fractured my toe. Exactly.
I mean, your hands
your
like
shit
bird,
will
man.
heal, but
young Coop looking fucking nice.
can't.
And we might get something from that AD trade.
Even say you broke your arm, your shit would heal, but you would still, even after it's done healing, you wouldn't be able to do the same shit you do for a while. An ACL, your shit might heal in a year, but you still need a year of rehabbing it and taking all the fucking tension and pressure you've been putting on your other leg to get back adjusted. You know what I mean?
I might peel off a
niggas get their shit healed and they start running and exerting both of their legs, not knowing that there's been bare tension and pressure being put on the other leg, and then they tear some shit in the other one. That's what happened to all these other
good game from Ricochet. We fucking still gonna lose, but young nigga Kyrie gonna come back. You think everything looking solid for the rebuild? No, nigga, you stuck with that nigga AD. Kyrie not coming back. You not getting no young players. You not getting no draft picks. You are fucked with a T at the end of that motherfucker, man. I am actually floored how diabolically bad that Luka Doncic trade continues to get every single month.
I'll never forget. I'm sorry to keep pausing, but I'll never forget the niggas who were like, actually watch, this is gonna end up working out in the long run because 80 shut the fuck up. You know when some shit happens, something objectively wrong could happen, and nigga would try and make an excuse for it and try to be different and be like, oh no, well actually, like bro, fuck no, nigga, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, nigga. That shit was always asked from the day one. I really think that the fucking Mavericks are really a couple pieces away from being real championship contenders. Like, even the other trade they did that was really stupid that Nico Harrison did that no one talks about is the Quentin Grimes trade. Quentin Grimes was turning into a demon. I feel like having him as a spark plug off your bench to put up some buckets, I feel like, they could have been put over
every
the hump.
month. It's some new shit.
Maybe a trade for
just
another
when you
star,
think everything was turning around because Coop looked like he in the middle of the best rookie season from a wing, or at least one of the best rookie season from a wing player since like Braun came in the league. Braun, Melo, KD, and it's probably Coop. Like, I might be missing somebody, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, Coop really been playing out his mind from like December onwards. And now you thinking you really coming up. Hell, who gives a fuck if Zachary Ricochet really not that guy? I'd rather roll the dice with something young. That sounded crazy. We might have to cut that out. But that sounded nuts.
Yeah, that shit sounded crazy.
You rather go out there, try something new. Try someone with potential that's potentially untapped. You rather do that than figure things out with AD because you know that he's not a part of the big picture. You done came out and told the world we're not giving him a contract extension. His agent has came out and said they need to trade us because we're not a part of the picture. And this is the reason why that savage, that criminal, Nico Harrison. Are you serious, bro? This is the reason why that trade never, ever made sense. And the dumb, smart people that try to make it sound smart, that try to make it sound like it was an intelligent, that made it sound like, well, I really...
Bro, Luka, AD, Cooper, Flag, Kyrie Irving, who would stop that, nigga? They would not have Cooper or AD if they still had Luka. Luka's debatable. I mean, Luka's a hypothetical, because who knows? There's so many hypotheticals in butterfly effects, like, maybe if Luka's there, he gets injured and they still go and get Cooper. Maybe if Luka's there, instead of Kyrie being the one to take the ball up and going when he tore his ACL, maybe Luka would have took that shit up and Kyrie never tears his ACL. There's so much different like butterfly effects that happen just off of Luka being gone. Maybe Luka would have had the ball in his hands driving in. Yeah.
Get it? Because Luka don't play no defense. There's not a smart individual with 2 brain cells that would ever in their life think that would have been a good trade. But you had people trying to defend it just because they wanted to be different and get a hot
See?
Be fucking for real. And now AD, an organization that has openly stated that they don't want him on the team anymore, they now have to have him on the roster at bare minimum for the rest of the regular season. And everyone knows that nigga doesn't want to be there no more. So whatever trade value you think you may have had out of him, it's done now. Anybody that comes to the table and say, hey, we want AD, they are going to sell short. Really, really short. So there may be a possibility that, who knows, AD still gets traded by the deadline to the Hawks. But the Hawks, I can give up much less than I was going to give up before. What the fuck am I not even in a rush anymore? You know what I'm saying? Come to me. Talk to me correctly. Matter of fact, when you dial my number, man, make sure you talk to me the right way, bro. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit about draft capital. Don't even tell me about nothing about Pelicans. Don't say nothing about New Orleans unless we go on to Mardi Gras to celebrate the trade. Don't say nothing to me about no draft pick. Matter of fact, the youngest nigga that needs to be traded has to be 27 years old or older. Don't talk to me about a nigga that's under 25. Because we got all, and if you want someone young, go get another team. That's what you need.
Because trade for AD is actually just a detriment at this point. Like, you're going to have to spend so much money to bring this nigga onto the roster. He's going to want a max deal. He can't stay healthy, and he's regressing at this point. And he's getting older, so he's more likely to regress even more and get injured even more. So it's like any young assets that you were giving up or core rotational pieces and picks, it just would end up not being worth it. Because this nigga might not even end up playing for you like that, to be honest. It's crazy.
Dude, don't come to me about no young niggas. Nope, no. We got all the YNs we want on this team. Go find somebody else. Go make it done. Go get it done. Because you rather have something than nothing. Fuck around, have AD stay on there another year longer. He'll just walk in free agency for nothing. And then if he does that, if AD does that,
worst trade all. It's already worst trade all time.
Because that basically means that you traded Luka Doncic
for nothing.
For nothing? Or Max Christie? I love me some Max. I don't love him that much. You quite literally have to get something out of AD. Literally something. Literally something. And so to my Mavs fans, I feel sorry for you. Because right now, you're about to get bent over. Every call that they make for Anthony Davis trade, just know you are making that call with your pants already down, prepared to get fucked over. Just let that be known. Every call you make.
Crazy,
same way AD bent over just like this, pants are down already. Pants is already fucking down.
I think it's crazy.
Pants down. AD looking for a max contract extension, probably not going to get that.
Nah.
Teams around the league thought they were going to add somebody to the roster.
I don't know what team would offer him a max extension. Like, it'd have to be just a straight desperation Hail Mary, nigga. Like, maybe a fucking Clippers. Because them niggas, they, for whatever reason, they're not giving up on the Kawhi and Harden experiment. So they might just throw a fucking Hail Mary. If I'm Harden, nigga, I'm going back to Houston, gang. They need a point guard bad. It makes sense. Like, I'm probably going back to Houston.
That can help them compete immediately for this year. Probably not going to get that. Hopefully AD doesn't have to get surgery. If AD doesn't have to get surgery, if they go out and get a second opinion, he doesn't have to get surgery within the next month's time, then he could be traded. So keep that in mind as well. But that's tough. But more importantly,
from what I've seen,
it's already known that AD doesn't want to be there. And it's now known that Kyrie more than likely is not going to play a single minute this year. So all those hypothetical, the fan fiction that Nico Harrison supporters are trying to feed Dallas Mavericks fans about some bullshit. Oh, well, when Kyrie comes back, y'all niggas are acting as if like this nigga had a sprained ankle and he was going to make a return this year. Kyrie sustained an injury that no one knew. No one knows how quickly that man was going to come back.
And not only that, we have never seen somebody at that age suffer that injury and come back the same way. We have seen Zach LaVine come back. We've seen Jamal Murray come back, but they were in their mid-20s. We haven't seen a 34-year-old get an Achilles tear or like a ACL injury, and they've been the same. Like, the only one you could really even say Achilles was KD, but he's different. And like Kyrie's whole thing is explosiveness, getting to the rim. KD's a tall ass nigga who can shoot over niggas. It's the difference.
But damn, dog, this sucks. If you are, man, bro, if you are a Mavericks fan, I feel for you, bro. I can't even act as if like I know how you feel, because I'm a Laker fan. We normally on the other side of this type of shit. But this is crazy. This is actually absurd. And a trade that was already one of the worst in NBA history keeps getting worse every single month.
Something, baby, I like just how you blushing. And maybe we could bust it at the function. Turn nothing to something. Wish you could just see the horrors of my life, my upbringing.